Top 25 World's Hardest Working Countries. Sometimes a day at work can feel endless, but you might have it easy compared to employees in other parts of the world. Here are the countries where people work the highest number of hours per week according to The Economist. 1. Qatar. In Qatar, it very much depends where you work as to when you'll work, but the average working week is 50 hours. Governmental offices will work between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. while other offices have a two-shift system, one shift from 7:30 a.m. 12 p.m. and the other from 3:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Bankers work from 7:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Almost all hours vary slightly during the month of Ramadan, due to the timing of prayers and fasts. 2. Pakistan. Workers in Pakistan cannot work more than 12 hours in a day. The normal working day is 8 hours, with a further hour for lunch and prayers and an hour for rest. Workers can earn up to 2 hours overtime each day. In a year, however, an employee should not work more than 624 hours of overtime. 3. Turkey. In Turkey, there is a set hour for lunch in most offices, government buildings, banks and offices open from 8:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. and then again from 1:30 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. In summer, when temperatures soar, some places in Turkey can vary hours to begin as early as 7 a.m. 4. Macau. People in Macau work, on average, 8 hours a day and 60% of the population works 6 days a week. Businesses tend to work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., with an hour and a half for lunch, while government departments work 9 a.m. to 5:45 p.m., 6 p.m. on a Friday. Holiday days are low, with only 6 a year, plus 8 public holidays. 5. Malaysia. Malaysians are required to work a 6-day week of no more than 8 hours a day. You can work from the age of 14 in Malaysia, which could be why their average is high, but women cannot work between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. in the manufacturing and agricultural sectors. 6. South Africa. South Africans work a 45-hour week, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. If you work more than 5 days a week, you are only permitted to work 8 hours a day. 7. Thailand. Like many Far East countries, a 6-day working week is the norm in Thailand. In so-called dangerous professions, the working day must not exceed 7 hours and the working week is capped at 42. 1-hour rest periods must be taken at a time agreed with the employer. 8. Singapore. The working week in Singapore is spread over 5.5 days. The Monday to Friday hours run from 9 a.m. 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. 5 p.m., with a lunch break in the middle, while a Saturday is 9 a.m. 1 p.m. 9. Hong Kong. If you live in Hong Kong, it may feel like you work more than 44 hours a week. Government office hours run from 8:30 am 5:30 p.m. and banks 9 am 5 p.m. Staggered opening hours aren't that common, but what is common is having to entertain business clients, with dinners, entertainment, etc., after hours, which, for most, will feel more like work than pleasure. Training seminars and off-work team days are also common. 10. South Korea. Prior to a change in the law, South Koreans had much longer working hours than now, which would have put them higher up this chart. But the law now dictates a 5-day working week of 8 hours a day. However, many people end up working past their contracted hours. 11. Guatemala. Working hours can vary in Guatemala. Banks, for example, usually operate 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., but some choose to stay open and many open on Saturdays until noon. Shops generally work 10 a.m. until 7 p.m., with many closing for a 2-hour lunch from 1 p.m. 12. Mexico. Working hours are generally around 8 a.m. until 6 p.m., but hours are decided by the employer since there aren't any legal laws around working hours in Mexico. Siestas are dying out, and lunch hours are more in line with Western countries now. 13. Algeria. Working hours in Algeria are between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. until 5 p.m., Saturday to Wednesday. Administrative buildings will open until noon on Thursday and banks will work until 3 p.m. During the holy month of Ramadan, Working hours are varied but are generally around 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. 14. Macedonia. The normal working day in Macedonia runs from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., Monday to Friday. Occasionally, companies may decide they want to have Saturday working hours. 15. Kosovo. Days in Kosovo can be very long, with working days running from 7 or 8 a.m. until 4 or 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The government works from 8 a.m. 4 p.m. while the banks work 9-5 depending on the location. 16. Sri Lanka. In line with many countries, Sri Lankans can expect an 8-hour working day between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. 17. Dominican Republic. Dominicans work a 9 a.m. 5 p.m. day, 5 days a week. During the middle of the day, there is usually a siesta for a couple of hours. Some businesses choose to open for 4 hours on Saturday morning. 18. Bosnia and Herzegovina. The standard working week in Bosnia and Herzegovina is 8-hour days, Monday to Friday. 19. Greece. Business hours in Greece are generally between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Although banks working 8:30 until 2 p.m. instead of office hours, banks will close at 1:30 on a Friday. Stores, however, are open from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. 20. Poland. Polish people can expect to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on a Saturday. 21. Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, 8 a.m. 5 p.m. days are the norm in the manufacturing sector, while public sector businesses are in operation from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., both operate Monday to Friday weeks. 22. Iceland. Icelandic working hours are between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. but change to 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. during the summer months of June, July and August due to longer hours of daylight. On average, men work 10 hours longer a week than women. 23. Serbia. A standard working day for most Serbians is 8 hours. Serbia allows workers up to 8 hours overtime a week so long as no more than 4 hours is done in one day. If working conditions are considered difficult and or harmful, the working week may be shortened by up to 10 hours. 24. Czech Republic. The working week in the Czech Republic is around 39 hours a week, with employers dictating how those hours are spread. Under-18s are not allowed to work more than 6 hours a day or more than 30 hours a week. 25. Chile. Generally, a working day for the first country in our countdown begins at 8:30 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m., although some businesses may choose not to start work until 9 a.m. Lunch breaks of an hour are considered normal.